Hey, Tim here, overlanding for fun. Coming to you from the Morgan Monroe State Forest. Thought I'd sneak out of work early today and take some time to get outdoors for a little bit, enjoy some of this unseasonably warm December weather we're having. It's almost about 60 degrees. So as you've seen on the socials, I got the Bronco, and it was a long wait, and like many of you, I put my reservation in back in July of 2020, ordered in February 2021. I think I got 8 different notices from Ford on production delays and different dates. And then finally it showed up in right at the 1st of December of this year. And I tell you, I've heard a lot of people complain that they had a lot of problems with their dealers. I can't say that. I had a great experience with my dealer here. Worked primarily with the new car manager up until we got closer to delivery, and then we switched over to a sales rep. Had no problems with financing, and they also didn't have any problems with trade-in on my other vehicle. So overall, it was great. And I tell you, I hate dealing with dealerships. So this was a good experience, and I can't thank those guys enough. So first impressions, it's an off-road vehicle, and coming from, I had a Kia Stinger before, and if you're not familiar with that, it's Kia's kind of entry into the sports car market, and it's quite a change getting back into a four-wheel drive vehicle. Now this. But like I said, this is definitely an off-road vehicle and much different than what I was used to. So I've seen a lot of people on social media complaining about the Bronco. I think they probably need to reset their expectations. I think it's probably the simplest way to say it. It's definitely an off-road vehicle. It's not a luxury vehicle. It's a vehicle that the roof and the doors come off on, and things have to be built in such a way that if it gets wet, it's not going to get destroyed. And I think that's where people are seeing maybe the high price tag for one of these things, and they're seeing that, and they're just like, well, it's expensive. I want it to be luxurious, maybe like I was gonna say a Ford Explorer, but you know what I mean. So you can't. I think people need to just reset their expectations just a little bit, and it is what it is. I think there's some things, and there's probably some legitimate criticism that could be stated. It's obviously the first year. So some of the things that I'm looking at doing, I being a busy professional, I really don't get an opportunity to get out as much as I'd like to. One of the things that I've learned this last couple of years with COVID and everything is I really miss being outdoors. I have 2 younger boys now, and basically I want to get back to being in a position to where we can just take off and go camping and do those kind of things. And I obviously couldn't do that with a Kia Stinger. So, my story began at some point back in probably 2019 when I really started looking at wanting to get an off-road vehicle again. And it could have been a Jeep, and it could have been a Toyota. I had a FJ Cruiser before and a 4Runner before I'd bought the Stinger. So I'm not completely inexperienced with off-road vehicles, but I just definitely wanted to get back into something that was capable. So I'm not going to be doing a whole bunch of modifications to it, because I bought it pretty much the way I wanted it. I want a vehicle that I know that I can take a trailer out, go out into the woods like this, be able to get around and reasonably be able to get out. But so some of the things that I am looking at doing, I actually just ordered today some lights, because definitely being out and going camping, lighting is going to be something that's important. So I did order some pod lights that go up in by the A-pillar on both sides. I did buy some lights that are going to go into the down here in the bumper on both wings on the ends of the bumper, And then also one, instead of, I'm not really looking at putting a winch on, but this company's got a like a bull bar that also has the ability to put some lights on there. And then in the back, I'm also looking at putting 2 more lights on the back bumper. And when I talked to them today, they said they have investigated in putting some lights up here, but I'm not sure how that's going to work out right now. They're still working on that. They do have some options for roof racks with light bars on those, but I'm not sure if I want to put a roof rack on. That's just something I'm going to have to think about. I'm a ham radio operator, and so generally I have some form of a ham radio in the vehicle with me. Sometimes it's a walkie-talkie, but most of the time it's a permanently mounted ham radio. So I'm going to be looking at, where's the best spot to mount the radio. I've got one of the things that I'm going to have to figure out with this is where would I mount the antenna. Generally with radio antennas, you're going to need a good ground plane or a big chunk of metal to stick it above to act as part of that antenna. So unfortunately with the Bronco and Jeeps, whether you have a hard top or a soft top, these tops are not metal, so they don't act as a good ground plane. So I'm looking at someplace up front here, maybe something in and around the trail guide, or maybe something attached to the front bumper. I'm not sure. I'm still investigating that. Ford has made it very, very convenient to put to run power from the cabin into the engine compartment. They've actually got a port that you can pull out, which is nice. And then there's actually extra terminals on the positive side of the battery that you can connect to. So for direct power. I know a lot of people might be looking at some kind of a portable GMRS radio, which is fine. And I'll probably end up doing a video on the differences between amateur radio and GMRS and what you got to do it. GMRS radios can transmit up to, I believe, 50 watts, but most of them are scaled back 5, 10, 15 watts, and you have to be careful when you use those if you want to plug it into like the cigarette adapter, and some of those come that way, and that's fine. But if it has too much of a power draw on a cigarette adapter, that could be more current draw than what that wiring is rated for. So that would be something to take into consideration, and that's something I'll do a little bit more research on and work on putting a video out. So I guess in short, you'll probably find that I'm more technical than mechanical, and so I will probably talk more about technical stuff like that, and less about the mechanics. I think funny story, talking to the people today, the guy said some of our products are really geared for the guy that wants to go out in his garage and just kind of get it on there and not necessarily go through the fabrication part. And I think that's probably a good description of me. Oh, also, one other thing that I did purchase, I did purchase some new rock rails. We can get into the Bronco, but I wanted to make it a little bit easier. So I'm actually looking at getting some rock rails that have a kick out on them that we can use as a step to get in and out, to make that just a little bit easier. But once again, not trying to look at doing any kind of heavy off-roading with it, because I just don't, it's not exactly what I'm looking at. But I do want to have something that, like I said, I can take just about anywhere I want to go and not worry that I'm going to have a piece of equipment that's not sufficient to handle the situation I'm in. So about it for now. Hopefully I'll have the lights and the steps in here soon, and be able to get those on and make some videos and get some more content up on the channel. So thank you for sticking around, and as always, if now, you know what, I'm not even going to say that you know what to do. Talk to you later. Tim out.